Hello, beautiful souls. How's it going? You like the big window box for the frickin' plants and the veggies and the strawberries that you put in over the winter? There's the cockatiels hanging out. And I'm right here with some tiki torches chilling behind me in a beautiful, nice, crystal clear pool. But you see them clouds. It's been booming and booming and booming. It rained earlier, which we really needed this rain. Something fierce. It was 106 degrees out at frickin' 9 o'clock this morning. So we already know they're cooking us with energy weapons, using James Webb to beat up the sun, and the sun's freaking whamming on us. That's what that black spot was in the sun. Everybody knows what it is, okay? Then you got the portal that just opened up in the sun. The end of July going in the beginning of this month. Right now it's starting to open and shit's coming in and out, so on and so forth. You know, if you look at the Antikythera mechanism, I'll give you a heads up. If you can actually build one to replicate it, it's basically a star map for a portal system, and it tells you what place is open at which place, at which portal, which jump station, at which time. So basically, at any given time, at any moment, you can travel forward or backwards or different angles in time to go to different bandwidths and frequency, dimensional shifts in the planes of time, using Vimana and or other craft that are similar that run with a mercury power supply. But you gotta have on specific clothes made out of silver and rhodium, because that's the only way a human can survive space travel. Our bodies can't handle the radioactivity and so on and so forth. You'll end up looking like a bunch of Chinese from the future that turned into little gray Zeta Reticulan aliens. You don't believe me? Look at China right now following all that technology, okay? Now, understanding what we know about the gray Zeta Reticulans and how some of the Zeta Reticulans were actually friendly, and we're telling individuals, yeah, we chose technology over spirituality, now our race is dying, and we're kind of using humanity and some other things to manipulate to try to save our race. That's the Chinese from the far future, the ones that chose technology. All these techno nerds and all these techno weirdos, those make up the Zeta Reticulan races from the great future that all follow the technological break-off that's coming. Okay, you have the golden age coming, but you also have the technological advancement age. Which way you're going to go? You can either choose the mother or you can choose the serpent. Which do you choose? Comes from the Bible, right? So, if you look at the book of Leviticus, you see all this shit going on with all these people seeing all these reptilians and shit on airplanes, right? There will come a time that beings walk amongst you in the flesh that are not of you. Use your spirit of discernment. Emerald tablets of Thoth. There will be reptilians that walk amongst you in the human flesh. Be guarded and pay attention. There are tales and signs you can see to differentiate those from other humans and your counterpart. Thoth was telling everyone in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, same thing that it says in the book of Leviticus. Okay, you got the Nag Hammadi Codices, talks about the Naga serpents. The serpents were warring with the reptilians, you understand? The serpent told Eve in the garden what the reptilians were doing with humanity and enlightened them by giving them cannabis, the tree of life, knowledge and wisdom. Understanding what I understand, cannabis vibrates at 535 hertz, bringing you out of a lower dimensional frequency bandwidth because you're eating nightshade plants and shit to keep the pineal gland crusted and the heart space crusted, calcifying it, keeping you from making the soul connection between the brain and the heart space and your actual soul, which is God. Okay? So, understanding what I understand about that and the research and the precepts of doing yoga and this, we're not supposed to be doing yoga and shit. You're supposed to meditate and stuff, but certain things like witchcraft and shit like that is not supposed to be done. Now, earth magic, positivity, adding positive plants and using positive plants in your diet is accepted. And if it's not used in the biblical precepts of what we know as spell casting. Now, I'll admit, I've played with magic back in the past. I've learned dark magic and light magic, and my grandmother was a practicing Grey Robe. She was a Celtic Moor. She was very, very important, and she knew a lot, put it that way. Yeah, so, anyway, going on to what we understand now with everything going on with QAnon and all this shit. They're trying to compare QAnon conspiracy theories to child trafficking, which child trafficking has been going on well before QAnon even came out. So, nice try, because they were talking about child trafficking beforehand when all them kids were on milk cartons and shit, only to find out that that was a way for them to advertise those children were in their possession and for sale. If you like the way that kid looked, you could fucking buy it. So, I mean, come on. Let's just tell the truth and shame the fucking demon where we're at right now, where I sit in this chair on this porch, hear the rain hitting the metal roof, You know what I'm saying? You hear the AC running. I'm sorry about the AC. It is loud. I apologize about that. And I know it's probably going to be annoying in the video. And some of you probably won't watch this. But that's fine. But knowing what we know now about vampires, aka reptilians, and how they feast from the blood of a unicorn, aka mankind, humans, which were a curse because our DNA was changed with a curse put in our blood, the curse of Osiris. It all comes back to the destroying of the black cube of Saturn and the AI intelligence taking over certain individual fallen and becoming attached to technology. Satan, as the Draco reptilian, worship him, is an Archon-controlled reptilian-human hybrid, okay? From the original lineage of mankind and angelic with reptilian hybrid from their region of the stars. Understanding what we know, these were giants that came to Earth, but they didn't live long here on Earth when they got stuck here. That's why they were put under the dome of Atlantis through a hydrogen-rich system, because they had to have the extra hydrogen to keep them alive. Understanding what we know in basic precepts of space travel, if a human being is born in space, they can never come back to Earth and live properly, okay? Just like the stories of the colonies on Mars, okay? I've talked to colony kids. I've actually spoken with kids that are not normal kids. They're trying way too hard to fit in, okay? And I talked to a couple of them. I said, listen, I know you can't answer me directly. I said, but how long have you been back on the surface for? And they say 3 weeks or 2 weeks, or they've been, some of them that I talked to have been back a few months now. And I know they're colony kids, and I have the ability psychologically to ask questions without actually getting them to give me direct responses, but them still give me responses. And I'm getting the answers that I seek. And you know what I'm saying? From what I understand, wars on the colonies and shit, people were given a chance to leave. An area that they were not allowed to be at, they were told, listen, you got a chance to leave now, or we're wiping you the fuck out. So everybody packed up and came back. There's quite a few people that came back. And there's been a population boom. They're talking about, oh yeah, population's going down. No offense, but why would anybody want to bring children into this world at a time like this? I want to be married more than anything and just have my kids that I have right now all together on one property, doing our thing, having fun. And yes, I've got information on some amazing shit. Someone's sending me a ton of giant freaking generator magnets. Big ass Neo block freaking like wind turbine magnets that go in the wind turbines that go in the face. You gotta literally, they have to be kept with something in between them like 2 inches thick because they're so strong. Once they go together, you'll never get them apart. That kind of shit. Well, let's just say I found something out. And I found an old video from the 50s that showed this guy making UFO toys. I got actual schematics and blueprints from his old archives of his original prototypes that they thought they got when they took all this dude's shit from his laboratory and all of his toys. He had one ship that he built that he took outside and turned on and when activated, and he said all of a sudden it just phase shifted and disappeared. They don't know where the hell it went. So somebody's got one of his toys somewhere in another timeline or somewhere else on the other side of the universe playing with it going, damn, these humans are smart. And they just don't realize it. Will you settle down over there? Kissing on your boyfriend, arguing at the same time? Why you kissing on your boyfriend and arguing with him? Huh? Why you arguing with your boyfriend? Why you arguing? Y'all got the same amount of room. Y'all get out and fly in the house in a little while. I'll take you in the house and let you out, let you fly around. They fly around and everything in the house. The one bird, the gray one, talks, but he doesn't talk very much anymore because he's got a girlfriend now. He used to talk all the time, though. They belong to my Aunt Lynn's former husband, and they've been fed by mouth ever since they were babies. Like, literally, would hold them there and go like that and put food in his mouth and let him eat out of his mouth and all kinds of shit. It was fucking awesome. They let them go outside once in a while, and they'll fly around for about 2 or 3 hours, and they come right back to the house. We walk out there, put our hand out on the railing, they'll climb up on our hand, put them back in the cage. So they're not stuck in a cage 24/7, you feel me? Only when the weather's bad are they stuck in the cage, but for the most part, they're in the house flying around, or they're outside flying around. And be surprised, they don't poop in the house. These birds are potty trained. They will not poop in the house, which is freaking epic. I don't know how or why, but if they got a potty, they'll fly right to the edge of the window and sit on the AC. And they'll sit there on the AC and start thwacking, like quack, 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 quack. They'll start making all kind of noise, like, and bouncing their head up and down, letting us know they got to go out. We'll bring them outside, put them to the cage. They'll go right down and stand on the bottom of the cage, do their thing, and then they're ready to come back out. Pretty cool. So, got a lot of neat things going on, man. I'm working on a few projects on the side, but I got some information and sent some information to somebody else who has some really cool toys that they work on. And they put something together and asked me how did I figure out how to make shit levitate, and I just smiled. I said, keep going. I was like, you got more to figure out with it, trust me. There's going to be a way for you to make something a little bit bigger you can sit on and do the same thing. I said, I'm in the market right now. I'm looking for someone that wants to have some fun. So, welcome home. Oh, you got to go back? Okay. Oh, alright. I'll see you later when you get home. Okay, sorry about that. Someone had to drive all the way back here to get their other change of clothes for work and go all the way back to town to go to work. And it's already about to be freaking... It's after lunch rush hour. It's 2 o'clock now, so... I don't know. It's gonna be busy as shit with the weather being nasty, though. I know that much. Got the geese out there hanging out, doing their thing, wandering, putting that good poo out there in the field with all that biochar and all the worm castings and all the bio-decomposed hay and food and cow poop. I gotta get some horse manure and a few other things to play with my piles real quick, but once I get all that situated and organized, I'm just gonna let it sit 3 or 4 days and turn it. 3 or 4 days and turn it. It'll be ready to go it'll be ready to go in my greenhouse by this winter. But I love y'all, man. And I just wanted to touch base with y'all. It's been a minute, you know what I mean? But we know what we know now, and we know that Kamala Harris is a tranny. We know that she's an anchor baby. She's an English citizen. Shouldn't even be a VP. You got Lauren Boebert filing the impeachment proceedings against Biden. We already know the DOJ and them are going to try to stop all that shit. They burned down Rand Paul's office. I wonder why Rand Paul had his office burned down, huh? What were they hiding in that motherfucker? I wonder what was in them hidden spots behind the walls and the bookshelves there in the back of the room there in the one office. I wonder why he had a little hidden room that goes down a set of stairs into like a sub-basement. I wonder what he's hiding in there. I wonder if they figured it out yet or if they've had to destroy the building and found the entrance down underground. But gotta be careful. He might have set all that shit on fire first. You never know. There was a hidden room under that building. You guys might want to check that out. There was a big fire from what I heard, but there's definitely some hidden rooms in that building. There's one underground, I know that, and it's got a ton of files in it. If they didn't burn it down or empty it out, it's probably still full. I can see things. I can remote view. I can tell you that there's another building across the street from a building that Rand Paul's people have been seen going in and out of with computers and so on and so forth and boxes of files. It's right across the street from a building with all black glass. It looks like chrome trim. There's a small parking garage right next to it or some shit, like a little parking area. It's only like 2 tiers. I don't think it even goes underground. Maybe 3 tiers. And right next to that, there's another little office building and an office space. It's like marble. And it's got some brick and stuff, but it's mostly marble. And that one, the CIA's been using one of the servers to access outside things because it's a secured server platform, and they're activating satellites and stuff and doing certain things with some of these weather anomalies from the inside of that building. There's 40 agents that work in and out of that building on a regular basis, so if you figure that one out, it's right there near that all black glass building, right near Rand Paul's office where it burned down. Like I said, there's several underground access points there that they didn't hit yet, so y'all might want to check those out yourselves. I love you guys. Oh, there's also an entrance right there underneath one of the things that looks like an energy transformer. It's got 4 yellow poles around it. It's a big, huge energy transformer. It's green, and it slides back. When it slides back, there's a staircase that goes underneath a place that they have side access to get in and out of. And anytime that opens up, all those cameras in that region take a still photo and run the timer on it, by the way, and they runs for up to 8 minutes so they can get in and out of the area without being seen. That's something they've been using too. I don't know if you guys know that or not.